Okay. A very good morning to you. This is our second master class, and this is me again, Dr. Sameh Jalil, the BCC of the course. So, what do we have on the agenda this morning? We're finishing off the Tale of Peter Rabbit in terms of, you know, the codes, the ideas, how you guys can close read a picture. And obviously, the focus with the Tale of Peter Rabbit is on the picture because it's a picture book. And we then make the transition to the second picture book, which is Voices in the Park. How much do we know about the Tale of Peter Rabbit? Obviously, we know a lot, right? In terms of the structure or in terms of plot, we know what the plot or how the plot goes. It's typical where you have a start, you have a middle, and of course you have a closure. And the closure is not very, in terms of ideas, the closure is not very clear, like we agreed, because of this moral ambiguity that we're left with. We don't know where the writer stands when it comes to Peter, whether he is being punished at the end or is he being rewarded by having his mom nursing him back to health by giving him the chamomile tea. So, other than that, the picture book as a narrative is very straightforward. It's a visual narrative, and it's in terms of the trajectory it takes, it's very traditional. But it's not traditional in terms of the ideas that you can think of. And of course, you can bring in your own ideas in as inspired by your background, how much literature you have been reading all the years, the ideas and the ideologies that you yourself embrace. Can be as simple as um, a children's picture book where the focus is obviously on giving instruction and delighting and entertaining, where in this sense, Peter Rabbit would be a boy consumed by this sense of adventure that all kids have, and it goes as far as this. It doesn't you don't give her or you don't think about it in grander terms. The idea of Peter being perhaps an archetypal figure that would evoke ideas of disobedience, Adam and Eve, colonization, where Mr. McGregor can be the colonizer, and the animals would be the colonized. It can be interpreted in this way. Can, like I said, be interpreted in a very simple way by referring all the time to the fact that this is curiosity that we are seeing, and this is childish behavior that we are uh, observing when it comes to Peter and what he does and what he doesn't. Um, like I said, the focus this morning would be on perhaps deciphering some of the codes. And um, perhaps you're hearing the word code or codes for the first time, and I'm talking about it in this course. I mean, you may not have heard about codes. in previous semesters, because the focus in previous semesters and in previous courses was on the word. And with words, we normally use the word meaning, clarifying the meaning, but with pictures and signs and symbols, we talk about codes. So a code is more or less like a sign, and behind the sign, there is a meaning. A code can be a color. A code can be a picture tilted in a certain way. A code can be the portrayal of a character, and by portrayal I mean drawing the character. And the drawing is done in a certain way so that the character is either far or close by, is either big or small. Okay, so when you look at the character within this context, you come up with more meanings. And this is exactly what is happening with the Tale of Peter Rabbit. And this is also going to happen with Voices in the Park, because they are picture books where, like we said, pictures sometimes predominate. In order for you to fully understand the word or the words, you have to go all the way back to the corresponding pictures. So the focus is obviously, when you talk about the codes, the focus would be on the character of Peter in the different situations that he is put in. Some of them are risky, he is putting his life on the line, and some of them are meant to give us perhaps a clearer picture of his adversary or enemy. And in this case, we're talking about Mr. McGregor. Um, so let me just ask you, because we have done this so many times, the idea of reading the text. And then, because it's a picture book, it doesn't take much time reading. I expect that you guys have read it perhaps more than once. And we have a number of corresponding pictures. The idea is to have the text on one page and the pictures on, or the picture on the other, on the opposite page. So let me ask you if you have a favorite among the pictures, or the pages that have the pictures. Do you still remember any of those pictures? We're now focusing on the pictures, not on the text. The text will come later. So of the so many pictures that you have seen, do you have a favorite? One of the pictures that sticks with you and you think that it's significant and everything? I'll give you perhaps less than a minute to kind of think. Think of the pictures that you have seen in this picture book, and tell me whether you think any of them is significant, that one of them perhaps appealed to you more than any other picture in this picture book. Think. Okay, can I see hands? Remember, I said that that should be interactive. You talk and I talk. I talk, you talk, right? It shouldn't go one way, me saying everything and you listening or only listening. Okay, Layan, go ahead.
My favorite picture is the last picture, which is about Mrs. Rabbit. Mrs. Rabbit uh, bringing chamomile tea to her son.
Mhm. Why is it your favorite?
Bec- because she did not punish him or shout or she did not shout on him. He but and chamomile tea is maybe it is a kind of medicine for Peter Rabbit.
Yeah. You mean that you relate to Peter, you like him, so whatever helps him, you think is good. You think that his mother forgot all about his infringements and the fact that he didn't obey her, right? And you like the idea that he was taken good care of at the end.
Yeah,
His mother was not angry. This is what you're trying to say.
but maybe she when she uh, gave him a chamomile tea, but uh, maybe at first she didn't know that Peter went to Mr. McGregor garden because
Mm,
I watch the movie about it and who that later Peter told her and he and she and she told him also, and that's why she didn't want him to go to Mr. McGregor garden. Yes, she's very kind and don't like punishment. She doesn't like punishment.
yeah, it's you mean it's her style as a mother. We have different types of mothers. You would have people who would scold him and say, "Why did you do this?" And I told you not to do this and that, right? But she didn't do that, right? Again, part of why you like it, I think, because if I ask you about your loyalties and your admiration, whether you like the girls more or Peter more, you would say that I like Peter more. Am I reading you correctly? If I ask you now, which of them, do you like the girls more or Peter more?
Mm, the girls more. The girls,
Mm.
the girls more.
Now I'm talking about Peter's, and I'm not talking about girls in general, of course. I'm talking about Peter's sisters and how they are presented. Do you like their submissiveness? Do you like their obedience? Do you like that they are, I don't know, I don't want to impose anything on you, but I'm just reminding you of how they are portrayed and presented.
Yeah, I meant I liked the Peter's sisters more, but I
Why?
like mm, because because they did not engage in dangerous adventures and they were more kind, and I like a mix of a bit of obedience and taking adventures. Yeah, I like
Mm,
both Peter and and his sisters at the same time.
okay. So, okay, Leah, thank you. Nora?
Yes, I like Peter because when I read books, especially for kids, I like to see adventure and exploring new things in the world. So I like Peter for this because he go an adventure and show us how he break the rules and go and do something new. And her sister, the sisters, just being quiet and didn't actually, for me, stand uh, for in the story. So I forgot about them because I didn't see him only in the first and in the end. Just
Yeah. Obviously, nobody likes disobedience, but we need to, of course, make this distinction between innocent disobedience, childish obedience, and disobedience of big laws and breaking the law, traffic law, killing, stealing. This is disobedience that we wouldn't, of course, promote or like or endorse. We're talking about disobedience that is inspired by a sense of, you know, adventure that is associated with all kids. Children are normally like this. That's why they are children and not adults. What's the difference between a child and an adult? An adult is rational. He or she thinks before he acts. Children are also rational, but in their own way. Remember, they can be 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, and you don't expect them to be as mature as we are. They behave and then think. We as adults, we think first, we calculate, and then act or behave. This is perhaps the difference. So if Peter was presented as a calculating and as a rational boy, we wouldn't have thought that this is true or genuine because we know children are like this. Again, this is part of the appeal that he finds among us. If I ask people here, and the majority of population are young ladies, and in spite of the fact that we have young ladies here, they would feel more um, at ease with the character of Peter because he is active, and no one um, would like the idea of being morbid, I mean, lack of activity, not doing this. No. And like Noura said, we have seen the girls because they are not active, because they do almost nothing. We have seen them only once or twice. Okay. Um, so again, it can go this way. It can also be something inside us. Perhaps as girls in traditional societies, uh, you are expected to behave in a certain way, and you don't necessarily agree with the guidelines given to you. So, so if you see girls behaving in the same way, they wouldn't be, I mean, you need somebody who is perhaps voicing out what um, you have always been wanting to say, your concerns, your fears, your ambitions. And obviously, these three girls wouldn't do that because they are so submissive, they are so obedient. Okay, somebody was raising her hand. Go ahead. Who's that?
It's
Zuhur?
me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, I raised it before when you asked about the picture photo.
Mm, mm.
Picture, yeah.
Yeah, that caught your fancy. It's
Yeah.
something that you like most. Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but it's stuck in my head. The picture when Peter was jumping out of the window, and there is the feet of Mr. McGregor following him. It shows the action and the situation he's in, like he's trying to run. It's like an action movie. It's explained and adds to the text.
Mm. You mean it's very exciting?
Yeah, yeah.
Can also be scary because you're
Scary.
so excited you don't want Mr. McGregor to catch Peter because you know what will happen to Peter
Yeah,
if he gets caught, right?
yeah.
Okay. I would like us to perhaps focus more on the encounters that Peter and Mr. McGregor have when they are seen together on the page. How are they drawn? Do you still remember any of those encounters? Let's look for them in the book. Let me see if I can have.
Sorry, but could you please uh, um, tell the question again?
Okay,
What?
wait. Okay. This is, yeah, look at this picture, for example. I'm talking about those situations where Mr. McGregor and Peter are thrown together on the same page. I would like you to always look at how they are portrayed. Which of them is near or close by? Close to whom? Close to us as readers. And which of them is distant, is away, and whether there is significance for that or not. And this is an example. Look at this picture. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes. Let me make it even bigger. Okay. Which of them is closer to us?
Peter.
Peter Rabbit.
Yeah. Which of them has, which of them has his features perhaps clearer?
Also Peter. He's so afraid.
Which of them, yeah, look at the expression on his face and look at this other guy. Can you make out, is his face clear? I'm talking about Mr. Matt Kruger.
No, but
No.
they show us what he holding.
Yes. Okay. So let's focus more on the rabbit now. And I think the expression on his face is very clear, right? What kind of expression do we have here? Is he happy? Is it a moment of
Yeah.
happiness or danger?
Danger.
Danger, right? So if you can see the expression on the face of Peter, this is obviously meant. This is meant to do what? To endear him to us, for us to feel what he feels, right? To relate to him more. Have you ever, yeah, we're human beings, and Mr. McGregor is a human being. Have you ever related to Mr. McGregor? Have you ever think that he was a good guy and he was defending his property and that Peter is a thief? Because I was asked this question at one point. Do you have any sympathies towards Mr. McGregor?
Yeah, because he works so hard.
Mm,
So I think he upset.
Uh,
okay. Yeah.
I don't feel sympathy for him, but this story made me feel more about like small animals, like when we
Mm,
hurt them or something, like an ant, when we kill an ant, or when we uh,
hmm.
something like this. So I feel more sorry about the animals.
Yes. Because um, it's Mr. McGregor is not. He is intent on killing the animal, not like hushing him away or hushing it away, right? And we have a precedent. Remember what he did to Peter's father. So when you like you rightly said, when you see a cockroach, you don't hush it away saying go on, or you kill it, you stamp it with your feet, right? Don't we do that?
Yeah, yes, doctor.
Yeah, yeah. It's very, sad, very unfortunate. And this is actually what is happening. I may say that if it happens to me, if somebody is infringing on my property, I may be angry, right? But again, it's ecology. When you talk about nature, when you talk about the environment, and you should have this ecological balance. Can you imagine if we don't have rabbits, if we don't have rats and cockroaches? They have a purpose and a function in life. This is what we keep forgetting, obviously. It's 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 difficult, It's a real dilemma. Anyway, and I'll talk about a bigger picture, and I think I spoke about this at one point. The idea that Mr. McGregor is obviously a colonizer. The land that he claims his is not his, actually. It's nature. So nature, in its pure and original form, does not have houses or farms. What does it have? Which came first, the jungle or the garden?
Jungle.
The jungle, right? Okay, and then people go and they start to kind of work the land over there. They organize it and they cut it into small pieces, and you have a house here and I have a house there. So originally, the Mr. McGregor doesn't have property or a house. So it can be the other way around, that Peter and the other animals are reclaiming the land. They are claiming it back. They said, this is our property. That's why a guy like Peter does not believe that he shouldn't go and eat from Mr. McGregor's farm, because he believes that this is communal. Communal means that it belongs to everybody else. Why is he stopping me from doing that? Why does he want to kill me for eating stuff from nature? So this is big, I think. I'm reading too much into it, which I shouldn't, I think. But I'm focused here on the representation on the picture, where, as you can see, Peter is closer to us. He is within our angle of vision, while Mr. McGregor is presented as far, right? Is as very far away, which is what we feel for him. We feel distant, and he feels distant too, right? Because we again have our sympathies with normally with the weak side. If you have two people fighting, you would side right away with the weak side. You don't know the details, but you normally feel that the weaker side, the smaller, is the one who has the right and everything. So this is one example. Let's read the text and see whether it captures those feelings that we have. So Mr. McGregor was on his hands and knees planting out young cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out, "Stop, thief." Okay, so I'm asking you, do you think that if you haven't seen this picture, do you think these words would capture those horrific feelings that Peter is having? Mr. McGregor was on his hands and knees planting out young cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out, "Stop, thief!"
I think no, because if we just have the text, we will not feel anything. But I
Mhm.
think Arthur wants us to feel emotion, so I think this story needs the picture and need the text.
Nice. And again, when this is a code that we're having, and this is a code that we're trying to break. What is the code? Here I'm talking about where the characters are on the page. This is a code in and of itself, right? So the closer the character, the closer to us, right? The more appealing to us this character is. We feel more for him, and this is what we felt, right? We are all agreed that we have our sympathies for Peter, not for Mr. McGregor, right? Okay, let's move on. If we have other situations where they are presented, see see this other. What do you think of this one?
Hi, doctor. I love this picture
Mm,
because here the drawing is so beautiful because they picture Mr. McGregor big
mm,
because he's a human,
mm.
and Peter's so small because he's just an animal. So here they show us the size that he's small and innocent and weak, and
Mm.
the human obviously is big and he can catch him.
Yes. Again, let's look at the size. Yeah. Look at Peter and how small he is, and look at Mr. McGregor and see how gigantic and big he is. Again, the idea is that the smaller you are, the more sympathy you're going to receive from other people, right? This is what we agreed on. Again, and we also have a very interesting thing here. You would expect Peter to be in his four, right? And you would expect Mr. McGregor to be in his, I mean, he should be upright, standing, right? Not on his four. Can you see this?
Yes.
And it's very significant because it simply tells us that this is what is actually happening. We have only seen the animal in a negative sense, the animal side of Mr. McGregor. I wouldn't say the animal because animals are good. I mean, I'm talking about the monstrous side. A monster is obviously an animal, but huge, by scary, right? So by being presented this way, Mr. McGregor is, or perhaps Potter is trying to tell us that this is what he really is. He is a monster, and whatever is going to happen next will prove and confirm this point. While Peter is presented as meek, as upright, or he has four, right? But he is upright like human beings, and obviously he is also small, perhaps civilized, right? Approaching again, you would also need to look at where they are positions on the page. Again, Peter is closer, while Mr. McGregor is far, big, uh, on his four, right? Which is obviously not typical of a human being. Because as it turns out, he's not a human being, the human being that we know, compassion and kindness, right? He's not this kind. He is ready to kill whatever animal. He doesn't think twice about it, right? This is also very significant.
Yeah, do you mean that that Mr. McGregor is a bit similar to Peter Rabbit, that he doesn't think before he acts? I
Yeah,
think he's similar to Peter Rabbit. Mm.
I'm saying when in matters of defending his property, in matters of dealing with animals, he doesn't think twice. And that would turn him into a real animal. And I'm saying a real animal with some reservations because animals are good. I'm saying that he is a monster. And monsters are, they go on their four. Um, Peter is a child, and typical of children, they behave or they act, then they think. While McGregor here is a mature individual, but because of his greed and because of his bad nature, he he acts, but I don't think he thinks about what he acts after he finishes, because he takes it that it is his right to kill animals, to butcher them, to make them pies like we have seen. This is the difference between him and Peter. Peter is a child and he is acting like children. What do you think of this picture? It doesn't seem that Peter is bothered about what is. I mean, he has this idea of ease. I mean, he's eating, is obviously he's happy. Why is he having this kind of attitude? He is. It seems that he is very comfortable. He doesn't feel that he is stealing, that he is eating something that is not his. Why? Why do you think he is behaving the way he does?
I think because he think it's normal, as you
Mhm.
said, it's from the nature.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nature that I'm in. And other animals are sharing him or sharing with him. Remember, you have a bird. Can you see the bird? That obviously
Yeah,
the bird
Finch bird.
is, yeah, the bird has the freedom to fly. And I'm sure if Mr. McGregor can catch the bird, he would, but he cannot because they fly. So it's not only Peter that is infringing on Mr. McGregor's property, right? And if all the animals and birds are allied in their thinking that what they are doing is not bad, obviously something is wrong. Okay, so let's look at Peter and the other animals, and let's look at McGregor. Obviously, McGregor is the only person or the only creature in the story who believes that what he does is good or right. The other animals, what was the attitude of the other animals towards Peter? Did they blame him? What did they try to do?
But, but they but maybe they told him to be careful, and some of them have sympathy for him when he cried later.
Yeah, some of them even helped him. They tried, right? So you wouldn't try you wouldn't help a thief, right? If you think that a thief is a thief, you wouldn't help him or her, right? You wouldn't feel sympathy for him.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm trying to say that among the animals and the birds, what Peter is doing is natural, is the right thing to do. I'm outside in nature and I'm eating, okay? And I'm stressing the fact that it's only McGregor who sees it otherwise. Again, you would think of him having the mentality of a colonizer, and colonizers are like this. They lay claim to lands that are not their own. What do you think here? Can you see how tired he is? Is he going in
Yes.
or coming out? I don't know.
No, he squeezed himself, so he's sneaking out. And I think he's so excited because he wants to go and eat from the vegetables.
I think he's running away and he's
Uh,
scared and tired, maybe.
I don't know
No,
what's.
he
Yeah,
no he's coming. No, he's coming in Mr. McGregor garden.
yeah.
It's in the beginning.
So he's sneaking in and squeezed under the gate. Um, Again, you would tell that even if he is sneaking in and he's starting, um, it's dangerous. Obviously, he doesn't go through the gate. He doesn't go through, I mean, the gate is not open for him to go inside easily, right? Let's look at things. I think we need to also see what's the significance of this picture.
I read it once, but I am not sure. Here, the sister is the, they listen to their mom, and Peter is not because he facing uh, his face to us that he
Yes, yeah, it's
is
very significant
going
that he
to
is,
do something else.
yeah, yeah, he has something else in mind. Okay, so you wouldn't, I mean, if you're only reading the text, um, would you have those ideas and feelings? Read the text, no, read only the text. Now, my dears, obviously she's talking to everyone. Now, my dears, said old Mrs. Rabbit one morning, you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Can you feel that
No,
somebody
Yeah,
no,
is
if we
mm,
just read the text, we
mm,
don't know that Peter is there.
mm-hmm. Yes.
looks like he's not listening.
Yeah. Yeah, it means that he has something else in mind. He has an agenda up his sleeve, like they say, right? Okay, so again, this shows us how important the picture is, right? The text can stay silent on a number of things, and it's only the picture that can make things clearer. And okay, let me. If we don't have a text and if we only have a picture, would you have felt that something is not right?
No.
No.
Wouldn't you have felt that perhaps Peter is angry with them? He
Yes,
is
maybe.
he is not
Maybe he's looking
happy.
at something interesting.
Yeah, perhaps he is pensive. He's thinking deeply about something, right?
Or maybe or maybe he's practicing meditation, and the mother talks only to her, to his sisters, and he preferred to watch more. Maybe if we have a picture only.
Which what? Because he's not looking at them. He's giving them his back, right? Can
Right.
you tell? Can you tell from the picture that um, okay? Can you tell from the picture that the three in red are sisters, and that the one in blue? Do we have those colors that normally red is associated with girls, right? More, I
Yeah, and
mean,
pink.
yes, yeah. While blue is, I think it's a neutral color. I mean, a male can wear it, and then also ladies can wear it. But you can almost tell from the color that the red color that these are sisters, right, or girls. And again, the way they are portrayed, very close to their mom. Obviously, they are taking something from her or listening to her. This is what. What do you think? Is this a typical scenario with girls and moms?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, girls are, are portrayed to be more obedient, right? Okay. Your father had an accident there. He was put in a pie by Mrs. McGregor. What do you think of the text when she said your father had an accident?
It it frightens us.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know. She didn't say that your father was killed or your father was butchered. Your father, an accident would make you think that it can be an injury that he received only, right? I'm trying to say that again, the text can sometimes stay silent on things. It doesn't really reveal what actually happens. That's why we call it a picture book, right? Not a book. Because with books and with novels, you need to think and rethink, and you need to read on so that you can make or understand the bigger picture, right? Who is she talking to here?
To Peter.
Is she talking to everyone or to Peter?
To Peter.
Okay. Which is typical or not typical? You would expect the boy or the girl to get into mischief.
The girls,
Really?
because normally the girls are close to their mom, and here,
No, yeah, yeah. I'm saying she's telling, don't get into mischief. Mischief means then don't make problems. Don't create problems. Be a good boy. Obviously, she's talking to Peter because this is what boys do, right? Not girls. Obviously, she's anticipating something, and she doesn't expect this to happen from her girls, right?
But if, for example, his if the these three sisters, if they are similar to Josephine or Joe, they can be also mischievous.
Yeah, but
Josephine, that
how many Josephines and how many what's the other character's name? And we're talking about a whole literature which focuses on the idea that boys are daring, are adventurous, are up for mischief. They are very daring. They go into adventures and they come back victorious, right? It's only in very small cases that women are presented or girls are presented as, fighting and challenging the stereotype put for them that they are meek, that they are submissive, non assertive. Again, I'm stressing the fact here that she is addressing the male or the boy, which is a typical scenario where you wouldn't trust the boy with your instructions and guidelines because they are explosive. They can do many things. You just give them your back and they are out disobeying and everything. Children, okay? The girl, as presented again, typically is obedient, listens, as you can see. I mean, they even started to act on their mother's advice, and they are busy, perhaps playing around, right? So Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cotton Nail, who were good little bunnies. Good. See, this is also what Potter is writing. She's saying they are good little bunnies. Good means that they are not up for something. You don't expect them to cause issues and problems. Okay, but Peter, who was very naughty, ran straight away to Mr. McGregor. He didn't wait. See? And again, Potter is describing him as naughty. So when you describe a boy as naughty, this is typical, this is the stereotype, or this is challenging the stereotype.
No, it's typical.
It's typical. You would expect boys, again, to be adventurous, to be risky, to be reckless, right? And you put all of this under the adjective naughty. He didn't, he ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's God. And here he is. And like I said, here he seems to be enjoying himself, acting as if he's not doing anything wrong for obvious reasons. We spoke about that. And obviously, he has company. right? He's not alone in this.
Yes, doctor, can I say something?
Absolutely.
Here they show birds, and also and the girls when they I don't know what they're doing, but also there was birds. So the author, I think she wants to represent the nature and what they are doing. It's normal. So yeah.
Yeah, this is what we're agreed on, that this is for animals and birds. This is nature. There is no such thing as private property for them, right?
Yeah, and birds represented freedom.
Yes, and that's why people, if they want to scare them off, if they want them to go away, they have scarecrows. You're familiar with scarecrows because they
Yes.
wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen to you if you say hush or something because and this is nature. Why are you here? I'm asking you as human beings. This is not where you should be. You see, on his own, he is portrayed as big, right? So, because, I mean, obviously, here the author does not want you to either sympathize or not sympathize with him. There is no um, occasion for sympathy or the lack thereof yet. That's why he is presented as big. But when she wants you to sympathize with him or to prepare for this kind of sympathy, she presents him this way, small, and you have his enemy presented in his four, and so big. Can you see the strategies and the tactics that Potter is deploying here? See, on his own, he doesn't need any sympathy yet. All we know that he is perhaps feeling a little sick because of the there's so many things that he has eaten, right? And here, because we're going to start to feel some kind of relatability with him, he is not given alone. We're given the picture of Mr. McGregor in his four, like an animal, a monster, and Peter is upright. He is walking like human beings, and he is portrayed as small, closer to us. Mr. McGregor is distant from us. Um, this is perhaps one way, one step towards creating the relatability and the appeal that we're going to find with Peter. And in order to complement it, you have this, where also Peter is closer to us, where his facial expression is clear. He obviously is very scared. Where the other guy is, who don't have his facial expression, you would think of him as more of what? A killing machine, bent on killing animals, and it happens with him perhaps every day or every week, and he doesn't think twice about it. So obviously, when he was running after Peter, he didn't want to kind of scare him off and full stop. He wanted to kill him, right? And then you have all kinds of chaos happening. You have Peter running and losing his shoes and his jacket and dreadfully frightened. This is perhaps a very significant picture where you have this kind of sparrow or bird and checking the um, the shoe, right? What's the significance, if any, of this picture? Is or are shoes and jackets part of nature?
No.
Do animals have shoes and clothes and stuff like that?
No.
No.
Perhaps she's amazed, she's surprised that an element like this is in nature. Obviously, um, it's not a happy sign. It's not that the sparrow is happy with this shoe, right? Perhaps it's another way of saying that, human beings and their artifacts are not welcome in nature. Perhaps by losing his shoes, Peter the rabbit and the animal is going back to his original self. Perhaps the shoes were kind of restricting and limiting him because they are human made. And it's only when he gets rid of the shoes that he can run away and escape, right? Perhaps wrong. See, see what's happening with him. So after losing them, he ran on four legs and went faster. After losing what? His shoes?
Yeah, his shoes.
Yes. He ran on his four legs and went faster. So it's only when he is on his four legs that he is faster. What does this tell you? That he came back to his old self, an animal, right? Obviously, he was limited and he was restricted by those artificial shoes because they are not part of, um, they don't define animals as much as they define human beings.
Okay, but doctor, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why in the
Um,
first place he has shoes and jackets?
what?
You said that he is back for his natural self.
Mm.
So why in the first place he wear a jacket and
Yeah,
shoes?
because this is, if you still remember, we said this is a fable, and with fables, animals are presented as human beings, having the qualities of human being. They behave like human beings. They obey, they love and hate. See? So he was acting like a human being, dressed like human beings, listening or not listening like human beings. And I'm saying in this moment of danger, he has to go back to his old self in order to be able to run from this, away from this danger. And it only happened when he lost his shoes. So this is metaphorical, of course. This is a high level interpretation. So it's only when he lost his shoes that he was able to run away, because um, with the shoes, he had only two shoes, right? But now he lost them and he was able to move and run on the four. And this is obviously more comfortable for him than being on two legs only. Are you getting the point?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, why do you think the birds or the sparrows are coming to him?
To cheer him up.
Yes, okay. Which again, which which would add to the idea that they don't think that he is doing something wrong, right?
Yes.
Some friendly sparrows. See here. Again, the idea that he can go through small windows and go into small um, cans tells you how small he is, right? And again, you would compare him all the time with the gigantic figure of Mr. McGregor. And who wins eventually? The small size, because this is where our sympathies go normally. See? Again, remember the shoes? Remember it was at one point for Peter, it was a sign, so a sign of civilization, right? And he came back to his own self and to his animal nature, the good one, when he lost the shoes. Now the shoes are used to crush him and kill him, right? So the shoes in both cases are giving us this sign that civilization is not always a good thing. It's not about the shoes that you wear, right? And obviously, men and women, for that matter, are using them, are not always using them when and where they should be used. Here, the shoes are used to crush the animal. So it's this conflict between the animals with their, uh, you know, innocent nature and the human beings with their agendas for destruction and everything. Again, what is happening to the shed? Everything is upside down. Who is causing all of this? It's Mr. McGregor. He could have stopped chasing the the animal and the animal would have gone away, but he is bent on killing the animal. Again, you would need to think every time Peter stands on two legs, and every time he stands on four legs, which is more comfortable for an animal, to stand on two or to stand on four, or to use his four legs? which
Is
is more
for
nat yeah, which is more natural for an animal. Four, right?
Four legs.
If he is standing on two, obviously this is going against his nature. Again, you need to remember that it was only when he ran on four, when he used his four legs, that he could run away. He felt more comfortable. He felt freer. Okay.
Yes.
Again, this is something that the text doesn't tell you. Look at the text and you wouldn't understand this. Again, here he is still not knowing, he doesn't know where to go and how to go to where he wants to go, right? He is very confused, he is out of breath. Remember, he is on four legs or two legs here?
Two legs.
Two legs,
yes.
like human beings, right? But here, when he arrived home, on two or four legs?
Four.
Four, right? Yeah, he is now um, in a safe position. He is almost home, right? Well, he's not yet there yet. No, this is not his home. Obviously, this is he wants to again go out again, but he is running on four legs, more comfortable. Again, here he stands on two legs because he is still scared, out of breath, and still thinking about a way out. Peter began to cry, even. Obviously, he's trying everything. Again, look at this. This is very significant. He's trying to go out of the gate, right? Can he go out of the gate if he is on two legs?
No.
No, right? He need to go down on four. This is also very significant. So his civilized nature as a civilized animal with clothes on, with shoes, wouldn't help him much. It's only when he goes back to being an animal on four legs that he could maneuver and find ways out. Okay, he is on four, and look at Mr. McGregor over there. Mr. McGregor is on four or two, two legs on four or four legs.
Two.
Yeah, two. Okay, and obviously two is human beings, and obviously he's associated with evil, with slaughter and murder. Okay, who is closer to us, Peter or Mr. McGregor?
Peter.
Yeah,
Peter.
Peter. Okay, does it mean something? Remember what we said? The closer the character, the 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 more endearing he is to us. Again, this was put up by Mr. McGregor. He wants to give the animals a lesson. He wanted, he's trying to tell them, this is what is going to happen to you if you dare and think about it, right? Which means that the other animals and birds are also um, under the impression that what they do in on the farm is not wrong, right? And obviously they are not scared one bit. Okay. And this is what we have. He is now home. He is in bed because he is obviously sick, and his other sisters are obviously waiting for dinner. And you know what happened? They are eating normal kind of food, and he is reduced to drinking and consuming chamomile tea. Okay. So again, I would like you um, to revisit the pictures and look more into them because they mean a lot and they can convey a lot. Um, when we meet again, because we're going to perhaps stop on this note, we don't have much time left. I leave, but even before I leave, I would like to ask other colleagues in the other classes whether you have started Voices in the Park or not. Have you started Voices in the Park?
No.
Not yet. So
Yes.
perhaps you're starting it next week, inshallah. Um, we have Dr. Mohsen's people, and we also have Dr. Arwa's people. If you are with Dr. Mohsen, raise your hand. Okay. So the rest are either with me or with Dr. Arwa. If you belong to Dr. Arwa's class, have you started the Voices in the Park? Okay, that's fine. So how much do we know about Voices in the Park? Those who attended my class, because we started Voices in the Park last time. Do the question is whether we want to spoil it for people here or not. Perhaps we can do them a favor by reading it together. How about that? Would you like us to read it together? I, I,
Yes.
yeah, I'll display it on the screen and I'll give you perhaps 5 to 7 minutes to read it. Not display it. And are you part of the WhatsApp group that we have? I could send it to the WhatsApp group and then you
Yes.
download it. I'll send it to the WhatsApp group. And if you're not part of the WhatsApp group, I'll display it and I'll read along so that you can read with me. Wait. Just give me a second. Can I ask you to mute your mic, Malish? Mute your mic, yeah, Lana. Okay, so I'll display it and I would like you to read it from here. How about that? Let me display it. Are we ready? Raise your hands if you're ready. Okay, let's do it.
Doctor,
Yes.
the file about Peter Rabbit notes that you explained from this week. I mean this Monday. I don't think I don't think we have it.
Yeah, when we finish, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, I mean if you could please send it to us if you if you don't mind or have a free time.
Okay, sure.
Doctor,
Yes.
because since these gorillas have, يعني they are present.
Can we read first, please?
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and this is the end of it. Any observations? Have you read it along with me? Hello? Are you still there?
Yes, yes, we read
Okay.
it.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah, Layan, you wanted to ask something? Go ahead.
Not. Uh, no, I don't want to ask. But what if Mowgli joined? But what if? Yeah, if Mowgli joined them, like in the Jungle Book. Yeah, يعني he or the because or since these gorillas are represented as having human characteristics. Yeah, what if Mowgli is in the story?
Yeah, what's the problem?
Yeah, I mean, maybe my يعني maybe يعني or or it is the opposite. يعني the character the how can I say the style of the story is the opposite of Jungle Book. يعني because in the Jungle Book Mowgli he's represented as and he wants to behave like gorillas, gorillas, but in this story, gorillas behave, they are represented as having human characteristics.
Yes. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. You mean if you have a predominantly animal story where you have animals and then you have a human being coming in, does it make it less an animal story? This is what you're trying to say? Let's
يعني what?
let's keep this question until everything unfolds, because obviously you're not putting a context to what you're saying, and perhaps we can discuss it in the regular class, and we can talk about it here when the idea is developed more, inshallah. I would like to refer you to a very interesting video that I made on this picture book, and it sums up the whole thing. I don't know whether I spoke to my class about it or not. Did I talk to you about the video? Did I refer you to it on YouTube, يا جماعة? Those who attend with me, my regular class.
Yes, on the WhatsApp group. You
Yes.
told us to watch it.
Yeah. I think I would like you to watch it يعني, very closely, because, like I said, it has all the aspects that we need, and it addresses all the questions and the gaps that you may have. Let me share it with the other people here in the chat, and then see. Wait, let me see if I can have it here. So I'm putting it in the chat area. I would like you to try to open it and see whether it works with you or not. Everyone. Does it work?
Yes, it's work.
Okay. So like I said, it's very amazing. You're going to like it. And this is obviously all what you need when it comes to voices in the park. I think this is all I have for today. I'll stop on this note and with this item, and I'll see you next week where we're doing the rest of Voices in the Park. I expect you to be ready next time. You have all the ideas there are, and we can make it a very interesting, time for discussion. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Bye bye.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, Doctor.
Bye bye.